Are you driven to doubt life by empty hooks while fishing? Have you fallen for these float signal reasons causing empty hooks? Fellow anglers, have you ever encountered this situation? When the float gives a signal, you strike confidently with a proper posture, only to end up with an empty hook. Why is that? The float clearly moved, but it still resulted in an empty hook. Today, let's discuss the false signals behind these empty hooks. 1. Fish rubbing the line. When fish swim in the nest, their tails or bodies easily brush against the fishing line. Whenever a fish touches the line, the float will move, giving false signals. These signals are irregular, maybe a gentle tap or a slow sink, easily misleading anglers. Novices, in particular, tend to strike immediately upon seeing the float move, leading to empty hooks 9 times out of 10. Sometimes, hooking a fish scale can even scare away the school. In such cases, don't rush to strike. Observe if the float signals remain unstable. If it only moves slightly occasionally, it's likely the fish are rubbing the line. Wait for a forceful downward dip or upward lift before striking. 2. Troublesome small fish disturbing the hook. Small fish disturbing the hook is another common cause of empty hooks. Wild fishing often abounds with small fish like wheatfish and bitterlings. These small fish have tiny mouths and can't swallow the hook bait. Instead, they peck at the bait endlessly. The float jumps up and down rapidly and briefly. Striking when the float moves vigorously will mostly result in empty hooks, and it's easy to get frustrated. To solve this, switch to larger pellet baits that are harder for small fish to bite, or knead the bait harder to reduce atomization, prolonging the bait's stay on the hook and waiting for larger fish to enter the nest. 3. Overly sensitive tuning and fishing. Many anglers prefer high tuning and low fishing in wild waters, thinking it's more sensitive. However, if the tuning level is too high and the fishing level too low, the subline becomes taut, and the float's residual buoyancy is too strong, making it difficult for fish to suck in the bait. Just as the fish manages to suck it in and the float gives a signal, the fish spits it out, leading to an empty hook. Try low tuning and high fishing instead, allowing the subline to bend slightly, reducing the resistance for the fish to eat the bait, transmitting more authentic signals to the float, and increasing the hookup rate. 4. Improper bait state. If the bait atomizes too quickly, it disperses before the fish can suck in the hook. The fish can only feed on the residue and touch the hook, causing the float to move without hooking. Or if the bait is too hard, the fish will spit it out immediately after sucking it in, likely resulting in an empty hook when striking. Therefore, bait preparation should adapt to the fish situation, reduce atomization when there are many small fish, and make the bait soft and sticky for slippery fish to facilitate sucking. 5. Highly alert fish. Fish that have been caught multiple times are extremely alert. They test the bait before eating, sucking it in and spitting it out quickly, or rubbing the hook bait with various body parts, causing false float signals. The float may sink and rise alternately, making it hard to predict. Deal with them patiently, wait for continuous and stable float movements, such as 2 consecutive downward dips, before striking decisively. 6. Unreasonable equipment matching. Improper equipment matching can also cause empty hooks. For example, using thin lines and small hooks to catch large fish may result in broken lines or straightened hooks. Of course, this doesn't mean the angler lacks equipment knowledge. Maybe they targeted small fish, but a large one unexpectedly showed up. 7. Incorrect striking timing. Striking too early, when the fish has just sucked the bait to its mouth but hasn't fully taken it in, striking easily leads to empty hooks or unstable hooking that causes the fish to escape. Striking too late, the fish has already sensed something wrong and spat out the hook bait, resulting in an empty hook when striking. This is especially true for fishing slippery or light biting fish, which require a keen grasp of subtle float changes. Of course, besides the above, there are other factors causing empty hooks, which I won't list one by one. To reduce empty hooks, the key is to fish more and accumulate experience. Only by fishing more can you handle various scenarios. Have you encountered any strange empty hook situations while fishing? Feel free to leave a comment. Note is translated as troublesome small fish to clarify the context of disruptive small species in angling. Adjust terminology based on regional fishing jargon if needed.